Welcome back to the channel. It is Monday, the 11th of August, and it's Monday, so it's another Malt Monday episode. So, welcome back to the channel, guys. It is an incredibly hot day here in Eastern Ontario. Again, I'm just about 14 minutes west of Montreal, right on the St. Lawrence River. And I think currently the thermometer's coming in at around almost 40 degrees centigrade. So very hot, very dry. We haven't seen rain here in some weeks, actually. So the grass is all burned. There's a fire ban. We can't have outdoor fires. Very dry. But you know what? It will rain. The rain will come back, and I'm not complaining. Even though it's 40 degrees right now, there's a possibility that within 8 to 12 weeks, we could be buried deep under snow. So I am not complaining whatsoever. And, unlike a number of years, most years, in fact, I'm not making my annual trip to, not this September, to London and then on to Turkey. So I'll be missing the sun and the sea of southern Turkey. So I'm enjoying it now while I can. But so it's Smoke Monday. Because it's really hot, I wanted to enjoy a cigar as well. So I'm having a Camacho Connecticut. I find with Camacho, it's nice. It's got some great flavors, but it's fairly mild, so it's not overwhelming in this heat. But today's malt whiskey is one I have never had before. I just opened it, and I'm going to do my first tasting here. Now, my parents came to visit me a few weeks ago, and they picked this up for me on the way, and it is the Hakushu Single Malt Whiskey from Japan. Now, I'm not an expert. Well, I'm not an expert on whiskey in general, but especially not on Japanese whiskey. I do have another one, which is, and I'll do another video on that one, which I found very light. Which is, and I enjoy actually putting a bit of soda water in that one. But this is the Hakushu Single Malt Japanese Whiskey. Apparently, one of two distilleries owned by the Suntory Company. There's no age statement, but I believe it's approximately 3 years old, and it is bottled at 43%. So a little bit higher than most scotches or most whiskies you'll buy here in Ontario, which tend to come in at 40%. So a little bit higher. I'm not mixing. I'm not putting anything in this. But doing a quick survey online, I've heard some great things about this whiskey. Some negative comments about Japanese whiskey too. A couple of commentators have suggested that one of the reasons why Japan, and I don't know, this is just a rumor that's out there, one of the reasons why Japan is winning a lot of whiskey awards is because they tend to import a lot of Scotch whiskey, and they're creating blends. So I don't know. It's one of the rumors. But anyhow, so I am going to pop open this Hakushu. Actually, I'm not going to pop it open. It actually has a screw cap. Unlike scotches, which have the little cork, this has a screw cap. So, bottled at 43%. There's no indication as to whether or not this has been chill filtered, or if there has been any coloring added to it. I don't know if they do that in Japan, but there's no indication either way as to whether or not that has been done or not. But here we go. Very golden color here. Looks nice in the sun. I'm just going to let it just breathe for a couple of seconds. One thing I love about Camacho is that the quality is always good. They're always very well rolled, nice even burn, and actually owned by the Davidoff company. So I don't know if that impacts anything, but I know Davidoff has a phenomenal quality control program in place, and if that's being applied to Camacho, but always been a very solid cigar for me. Okay, so this is a complete raw tasting. This is the first time again with Hakushu, so we'll see. Let me see. So on the nose, very cream. Cream comes through heavily on the nose here, and fruity. Cream dominates with some citrusy like undertones there as well. Very sprightly. Yeah, a real punch of that citrus. Yeah, it's very, very, for lack of a better term, very young. I'm getting a little bit of smoke. I don't know if this is peated in any way. There's no indication on the bottle, but you get a little bit of smoke here. I like very heavily peated whiskies, but you do get a little subtle hint of smoke on this. Very, very, very crisp. On the finish, you kind of pick up that creaminess again, but on the palate, it's very, very crisp, very, very citrusy, and then it smooths out just a little bit. I don't know how much this was. Again, it was a gift, so I didn't want to ask. I'm not sure how this compares to other Japanese whiskies. If anybody out there has tried the Hakushu and can, add some comments below, and especially with regards to other Japanese whiskies, I'd really, like to hear it. But it's not bad. It's really not bad. A little bit more complex than the Irish whiskies I profiled recently, but you don't have that depth that you'll get with a Scotch, with a good Scotch whiskey. Again, a little peatiness, not much. I think just a nod towards peat with this one, but fruity, creamy, citrusy. I'm not overly into the descriptives, with which fruit it reminds me of, but definite some crispiness, some crisp apple. It's really not too shabby. I'll be honest with you, if I had a choice between this and a Scotch, Auchentoshan, an Irish whiskey, the proper 12, I think I would really lean towards one of those first. But as a whiskey, as a young 3-year-old, it's not too bad. It's really not too bad. I think it might shine really well with the soda water in a highball, but I do think I'm looking for a little bit more when it comes to a fine sipping whiskey. But all in all, you know what? It's not a shabby whiskey. Definitely would drink it again. And yeah, hopefully you can still see me. The lights really, the shade and the shadows here. I'm hiding under my gazebo, just staying out of the intense sun. But yeah, so the Hakushu, 43% single malt Japanese whiskey. Not a shabby one. And you know what? It does go fairly well with the Camacho, Connecticut. Neither one overpowers the other. So that's today's Malt Monday. Hope you enjoyed it. If you've tried the Hakushu, drop me a comment below. Let me know how hot it is where you are. Are you suffering this intense heat as well? But I hope wherever you are, you're enjoying summer. You're enjoying some great cigars, some great whiskey. If you haven't already, really appreciate you subscribing to the channel. And if you like the video, giving it a thumbs up. But until the next video, guys, take care and I'll speak to you soon.